G'day everybody, welcome back to another weekly tipping video on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing my tips for round 21 of the 2022 AFL season. If you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. And let's kick it off with my tips from last week. Okay everyone, now my tips for round 20, and I got a good score again, 8 out of 9, close from being a perfect score. I only got the Carlton tip wrong, but going over the round, tip the D's, and they got it done pretty comfortably in a massive win, 46 points against Fremantle. Tip Pies, to be fair, I actually did tip the Pies by 6 points, and they did win by 6 points, so talk about a perfect margin. Doesn't really mean too much, but it's just, you know, just cool, I guess, you know, playing for pride sort of there. Yeah, Pies win another close one. Tipped the Swans, of course, and as expected, got a massive win over their crosstown Rolls and the Giants. Tipped the Saints. I said I was pretty, you know, not very confident in tipping the Saints, and there we go. I mean, they look like they were home and hosed by the start of that fourth quarter. Then they almost choked, but yep, that's still a win for them, and important to keep their season alive. Tipped Geelong against the Bulldogs and their masterclass, and they're just good, firing on all cylinders at the moment. The Cutters, they got it done by a nice around 30-point margin. Yeah, tip Carlton just for the sake of it. I thought their forward line could really get working through 𝐼𝐿𝐴 𝐻𝐿𝐴, but yeah, Adelaide just stood tall and about time. You know, they truly have deserved to win. About time, their rewards. They've reaped some sort of reward after many good weeks of playing competitive footy, and what an upset it was against the Blues. Tipped the Suns, and to be fair, I was expecting a bigger margin, but West Coast clawed their way back in the second half, but Gold Coast managed to hold on by 3 points. Tipped the Tigers against the Lions. It was looking like an embarrassing tip halfway through the game, but yeah, what about that comeback from the Tigers keeping their season alive, winning by 7 points. And of course, during the graveyard shift, did tip the Dons, and they got an expected nice win over North Melbourne. Okay, before we get into my tips for round 21, we'll quickly go over my top 10 in my 𝐼𝐿𝐴 competition. It's looking pretty close on the leaderboards. Of course, there is cash up for grabs for, I'm pretty sure, the top 3 or top 5. So yeah, anyone that's around the top 10 and top 20, check your emails. I'll announce it obviously at the end of the home race season for the prizes. Anyway, 10th we've got 𝐻𝐿𝐴 12345, 9th 𝐷EMAS 2021, 8th 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴, 7th �milsey 𝐵𝐵𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋 Fifth, Frankie W123. Fourth, Jimmy Fatad. Third, Kebab King 1. Second, the mighty 𝐼𝐴𝐺𝐸. And first, Sophie Master with a nice score of 151, holding on to a 3-point margin. Okay, now let's get into the main stuff. The tips for round 21. 3 rounds to go in the home and away season. And it's looking really close now on the ladder. You know, and there's plenty of spots for top 4, plenty of spots for top 8 still. So, yeah, it's going to get pretty tough, the tips. But lately, I've been bloody awesome. So, yeah, we'll kick it off, of course, with the D's hosting the Pies. And, yeah, God, I mean, Pies, this is just the main story of the competition. Collingwood, 10 in a row. Can they continue that now? They've been picking up those results against the bottom 10 sides for a number of weeks now. But now they return to playing some good quality opposition. Top 8 opponents for the remaining 3 rounds, and they kick it off with the reigning premiers. Of course, Queen's birthday match, they pretty much destroyed the Demons, running over the top of them in that 4th quarter, winning, I think, around 20-ish points. But looking at it now, I think the Demons are, you know, around this time of the year, Demons, you know, like Geelong and all those kind of teams that are in true contention for a flag, really want to put the foot down and show their authority. Demons did that last week on the road against Freo, just defensively set up so well against them. You know, Freo kind of played to their terms as well, but when the Demons get their kind of, you know, play on their terms, the defensive structure, they play great footy. And the thing is, the Pies are really good on, you know, playing against the Demons' turns, and they kind of struggle when things just aren't going their way. The Demons, or they're not playing like they want to. We saw it last time. Collingwood just absolutely blitzed them in the pressure. So the Pies are a really good chance here. But I feel like the Demons, this is their chance to knock off the Pies and finally, you know, end their winning streak of 10 wins in a row. I'm just feeling the Demons will really play some strong footy here. They need to show that they're a chance for the flag, and I think they'll get it done by a sort of a comfortable margin. I reckon they'll win by 19 points. Now for the first Saturday game, we have Hawthorn taking on Gold Coast at 𝐼𝐻�10 Stadium. Of course, last time these two sides met, Gold Coast absolutely obliterated the Hawks, I'm pretty sure, up in Cairns. And to be fair, I don't know if it's going to be an obliteration by the Suns in this game, considering that the venue is at 𝐼𝐻�10. Of course, you'll know Hawks play probably their best footy at 𝐼𝐻�10. Very hard to beat the Hawks over there. I mean, Lions lost to them. Of course, the Swans beat them, but, you know, the Suns have been a bit patchy at the moment. Of course, got the job done over the Eagles, but they just, you know, their second half of the year has just been really patchy. And I feel like the Hawks, they've just been going under the radar. They've been playing some good footy. I mean, You know, it wasn't a kind of an expected loss really against St Kilda, and to be fair, their fourth quarter comeback was quite decent. So I feel like Hawks are good value. I don't know if they're the favourites or not, but considering this is at Utah Stadium, considering that the Suns aren't too hot interstate, I think the Hawks can get this done. They'll beat the Suns in Tassie and win by 13 points. Now for the Giants, hosting the Bombers at the Giants Stadium in Sydney. Plain and simple, really. I think the Dons will get it done. You know, just a no-fuss tip, really. Giants have just been so poor this year. They've pretty much been the third worst team now in the competition. I'm pretty sure they haven't beaten a single side in the top 8. They haven't really beaten, you know, anybody above 13th or 14th. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere. Considering the Dons are in some fine form, they really could be 5 wins in a row if they didn't fall short to the Pies. They'll pick up a nice win here and win by 34 points. Now for a very good game here, Bulldogs hosting Fremantle at Marvel Stadium. Dogs playing for top 8 and Fremantle still playing for a top 4 spot, whoever wins this game. Tough tip here. I think Freo have kind of fallen off the cliff this past month. They were just so good at their defensive structure and just their free-flowing playability, and their midfield was rocking and humming, but things have just, you know, kind of come back, fallen to earth, for a fall from grace, really. The defence line isn't as strong as anymore because teams have found the blueprint to beating their zone defence, and Freo's ball movement has become very stale. Early in the year, it used to be so good. Now it's just, you know, the old chip mark, bomb it down the line, intercept mark, turnover. But considering this is against the Bulldogs, and the Doggies' backline has always been very inconsistent and quite poor this year, I think Freo have a chance. They're due for a good forward performance. I feel Lob really needs to stand up tall. So I feel like Freo a good chance here, but considering, I don't know, it's just something with the Bulldogs at Marvel. They play their best footy there. I think they can, not really stun. I think this game will be pretty close, but I think they'll get the better of Freo in this game. Midfield's been in some good form. Same their forward line too. Yeah, I think the Bulldogs get this win, and they'll win by 11 points. Now for the first Saturday night game, Geelong versus St Kilda down at the Carry Hall. The Saints fans would not mind another win against their, you know, nemesis of the Geelong Cats. But yeah, considering this is at the Cattery, Geelong are on fire. You know, they had 10 wins in a row as well. We always talk about Collingwood 10 wins in a row. Same with the Cats. People forget that. And I think they're a good chance to make this 11 in a row against the St Kilda side, who again, you know, Saints have just been very patchy this year, as expected. You know, it was a good win against the Hawks for 3 quarters. Almost choked. But yeah, if there are any chance here, the Saints have just got to really whack them around the contest, whack them around the ball in the midfield. And to be fair, I don't know. I can't really see the Saints doing much damage in this one. Geelong pick up a nice strong win and win by 28 points. Now for the other Saturday night game, Port Adelaide hosting Richmond at the Adelaide Oval. Just this matchup reminds me of the game early last year where the Port stunned the Richmond Tigers in a bit of a 2020 prelim final. Revenge, I guess you could say. Yeah, again, don't really know, really. I think Port Adelaide should be favourites here, considering it's at the Adelaide Oval. They're very strong there, very hard to beat, especially at night time, it seems. Port Adelaide, they've got that fortress running this year, and it just has been a disappointing year for Port Adelaide. You know, they've had their chances to really bolster themselves up into the top 8, but just short losses, and of course that 0-5 start has just really cost them to be a final side for 2022. Tigers, again, playing for their season, so I think they can really sort of pull off the upset here. Again, I think Port should be favoured in this one. And I'm going to be going with the home side. They just look really strong at home, Port Adelaide. They're playing for pride, and they'd love to knock off the Tigers and potentially hurt their finals chances. Port Adelaide get this done by 17 points. Now for the Sunday games, we have North Melbourne hosting the Sydney Swans at Marvel Stadium. North Melbourne, it's, you know, after their famous win against the Tigers, it just has been a slow decline again. You know, just some poor losses, you know, of course, getting smashed by the Hawks in Tasmania, and then a nasty defeat by Essendon. But I did see an interesting stat that they smacked Essendon by like clearances by like around 12, plus 12 clearances, centre clearances that is, which is pretty amazing. So I think North have a chance to try and really break even the Swans midfield here. But just considering the Swans, they're one of the most informed teams in the competition at the moment. Smack the Giants, pretty much smack the Crows. They should be smacking North Melbourne here. Apparently, Ben Cunnington could be coming back. That'd be such a good feel-good story. He might go into the 2s, might go into the 1s, who knows. But nevertheless, I think the Swans should be picking up a comfortable result here. Form-wise, they should be convincingly beating North Melbourne by around 47 points. And now for the primetime Sunday game, Brisbane Lions hosting the Blues at the Gabba. Geez, that was a season-defining loss, really, against the Crows last week for the Blues, and they have a really good chance, considering they run home, to lose the last 3 and potentially miss out in finals, which is just, you hate to see that. I think a lot of people would love it because they hate Carlton, but for me, Carlton have had a really strong year. They started off the season so well, but they've maybe sort of treating this season as a bit of a sprint, not a marathon. They've probably gone out the blocks too fast, but they really need a result out of one of these final 3 games, and it's very hard to knock off the Lions, a full-strength Lions side in Queensland, and come home with the points. So I think Lions should be good here, and they want some revenge. The Lions, they were far too good against the Tigers in that first half. It'll be a high-scoring game, I reckon. Lions should win this one by 19 points. And for the graveyard shift, we have the Eagles hosting Adelaide at Optus Stadium. I think a lot of people will probably tip Adelaide here, considering, you know, how they've been playing and they've finally picked up the win. So can they hit a bit of form now? But looking at this one head-to-head, yeah, Crows seem like the better opponent here. That's, you know, a no-brainer, really. But I am feeling the Eagles. I think they can pick up their 3rd win of the season here. They've been somewhat okay this past month. I mean, the comeback was really strong against the Suns, and it's very hard to play well over there on Gold Coast, especially at the fortress sort of the Suns. So I think the Eagles can pick up a beauty at home in Perth against the Crows, and they'll win a, you know, expected to be boring game, but a thriller. We'll win this one by 3 points. So everyone, there are my tips for round 21 of the 2022 AFL season. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you wanted to enjoy today's video. Things are getting really close in the AFL ladder, and especially in my tipping competitions. So yeah, make sure to feel free also to comment down below and let me know what you think of my tips. And also feel free to comment down yours below too. Love to hear your fellas' thoughts. Once again, fellas, thank you very much for watching today's video, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. See you later, friends.